Good afternoon, everybody. It really gives me a lot of confidence in this endeavor. First, to see with what the 250 Commission and the Chester County Foundation is bringing together, we have not only support from the top down with our elected officials, but from the bottom up from a whole variety of our community. So that gives me a lot of confidence in the success of this entire endeavor. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about our Iron and Steel Heritage Partnership. And so I'm not just talking about some boring facts. I'd like to just start with a brief story of an individual, because we as human beings are storytellers, and that's what we're really doing with America 250, is telling a story. Okay, Lady Grace was born Rebecca Savage. After her first marriage, she became Rebecca Nutt, and after her second marriage, Rebecca Grace, and known in her later years as Lady Grace. She was born in 1718. And when I talk about her, I like to think of her as a hub from which multiple spokes extend to tell the story within that wheel. So Rebecca's grandfather, Thomas Rutter, was the first iron master in Pennsylvania. He was married on William Penn's Pennsbury Manor and asked by William Penn to go up to Schuylkill and make iron. So grandfather was a story of his own. After her father's death, her mother remarried. Her stepfather was Samuel Nutt, and he was the first iron master in Chester County, who opened the Coventry Iron Works in 1717. That site is actually in what's now Warwick County Park today. Her mother, Anna Nutt, upon Samuel Nutt's death, if you're not getting the theme here, a lot of people died young back then, especially in the iron industry. But after Samuel Nutt's death, Anna followed his wishes and built the Warwick furnace and operated that furnace for many years under Anna Nutt and Company, which, when you think about it, in 1737, for a female to be doing so was a quite unique concept. Her brother, Samuel Savage, bought the indenture of an Irish immigrant, George Taylor, who later became a signer of the Declaration of Independence. Her second husband, Robert Grace, was a friend of Ben Franklin's, and in 1742, he gave them his plans for the Pennsylvania fireplace, which became known as the first Franklin stove, prototyped in their house and cast at Warwick Furnace. Her son-in-law, Thomas Potts, took over operations of the Warwick Furnace and Coventry Forge, part of the Potts family, known for founding Pottstown. They began to cast the Warwick cannons, which have gained quite a bit of notoriety lately as they've been dug up after 250 years of hiding from the British. And her friend Ben Franklin, who gave them the plans for that fireplace, also historically, reportedly, maybe in legend, courted Rebecca after Robert's death and after his wife Deborah's death. No one knows the exact specifics. However, it is documented that on Ben's death in 1790, she made a trip from Coventry to Philadelphia in the spring, which roads in 1790 between Coventry and Philadelphia were not an easy path to travel, and was one of the last people to see him before his death other than his immediate family, the night before his death. So it does show quite a bond, and the people that she knew and the stories that she could tell is something that we need to all remember and learn from. So to give you a little bit more information on the Iron and Steel Heritage Partnership, I'd also like to recognize David Blackburn, who is our chair of the partnership, and Sandy Nomeyer, who's here somewhere also as the secretary of our partnership. So thank you guys for all you do. The concept for an iron and steel heritage region was put together in a plan in 2002. And then, like many plans, unfortunately sat on the shelf for a little while. And in 2007, we actually began putting together the partnership. And that's from a landscape conservation, the Schuylkill Highlands and Big Woods. We now have about 40 partners and 4 tours. So in our brochure, we first have the Forging Freedom Tour, which has an anchor site of Hopewell Furnace, part of the National Park Service, and anchors 12 different sites. We next have Supplying Freedom, which is anchored by historic Yellow Springs, has that connection to 1777 as a hospital in the Revolution, and is the anchor of 10 sites. The Building Freedom Tour is anchored by the National Iron and Steel Museum in Coatesville and anchors 8 sites. And last but not least, Powering Freedom in Valley Forge, or Valley Forge National Park, is the anchor with 14 sites. We also have a website, which is ironandsteelheritage.org, all spelled out, ironandsteelheritage.org. So I encourage everybody to look that up, and if you're leading events, please go to that site and you can list events and educational programs on our site. We're currently on our 2nd generation of brochures. For the first generation, it was really just about history. And I found it to be quite informative brochure. But not everybody wants to delve deeply into history. So in our 2nd generation, we took the theme of a venture awaits in Iron Country, where we started to look a little bit more deeply at what else can be done in the natural landscapes, what else can be done with our other sites, like related to the Philadelphia campaign. I'm really hoping that through America 250, through our Heritage Tourism Plan, our iron and steel partnership can mature a little bit more to start including agriculture and arts and evolving values and all the things that are in our current plans, so that we can gain that mutual benefits. Thank you very much. Thank you, Karen.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.